What's the thought, YouTube? It's the Moorish trucker, your brother, man, and friend, demonstrating love, true peace, freedom, and justice here, there, and everywhere. We starting this new journey, man, in trucking. This is my next to my last day working, and then I'm off to Trans Am, start my trucking career. So I'm gonna do a quick review of 160 Driving Academy. I haven't really seen any demonstrations out there about 160 in Indianapolis, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them a review. First, I know it's a lot of people that end up signing on with companies or going through companies that have school to pay for their CDLs. I went through Work One here in Indianapolis, which is part of the workforce development here. So I would encourage ones to investigate the workforce departments there because here, Work One does it, the Urban League does it, and C9 out of Whiteland, Indiana, they also sponsor grants for CDL training. So if you're looking to get into this career, man, I would highly recommend that you research grants and organizations that are willing to pay for you to go to school. That way, you're not locked down into a contract. You know, you have a little freedom to move. You draw. Um, Work one, and then you dealing with other people money. So, because I got frustrated quite a few times, like, what's the holdup? Because they require you to take a tape test, 12 hours of class, 3 hours a day. You got to keep coming in paperwork. You got to give them all your information and your life history. And then when that was done, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get in here and get going. Oh, we got to wait on this. Oh, we got to send it to quality. We got to wait for this person to approve it and that person. At the time, in hindsight, I was upset, but now I'm drawing. You dealing with other people money, so you got to go through whatever it is you got to go through, right? And shout out to Cal at 160, man. Good dude, man. Because he was there right there with me. Calling, they got mad at him. You know what I mean? They really didn't appreciate him getting in their business. You draw, but he was really trying to get me to start the school because me and him had been communicating. So that was my first impression of 160 was through Kyle. He was really trying to get me in there and get me started. And once he saw that they kept stagnating my growth, he demonstrated to me, hey, go down to the license branch, just go ahead if you've been studying the book, take the test, that way you can skip that week and we can get you right to the trucks. So I went ahead, took the, and which was a good deal. That's why sometimes you got to trust the process. Misery is when you want something so bad, when it don't happen, it throw your whole demonstration into a discombobulation. You draw. And that's what happened. But had I have been going through the school, I would have only concentrated on just passing the test to get the CDL permit. So I was able to take all my endorsements, passed them all but my hazmat. So scarred about that, man. I got all the way to the 29th question and got booted out. So, and then when I went to get my CDLs, I said, okay, let me take it one more time. And for some reason, the young lady behind the desk was like, oh, you got to get fingerprinted first. And I'm like, what? I took the test 3 times already. Why now? Oh, you got to be fingerprinted, this, that, and the third. I'm thinking, oh, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that, but I could at least take the test and be done with it, and then come back later. So, but and that's another reason I picked 160 was because they had a longer course than other companies, and I wanted to go over the road, so I wanted to ensure that before I get out here and start navigating these highways, that I really had a skill set. I'm the type of person that want to make sure I get it right. Uh, then once I got there, you had Faith. She was in charge at the time. There was another lady, Cindy. I only met her one time, but she was like the head, but I never really got a lot of personal time with her. But she was good peoples from what I've seen. You draw. Then you have Faith. She gonna do your pre-trip, help you out with your pre-trip, give you the demo on that, take you out on your first drive, things like that. Uh, she was good people. You know, she get agitated a little easy, but she was good people at the end of it. After you're around people for so long, you kind of pretty much understand they personality, and you just come to the conclusion that that's just how they is. That doesn't make them a bad person. Everybody deal with things differently. Matt, that was my guy. Big Matt. Big Matt, man, he's a real deal people person. Just out the gate. He can deal with anybody, talk to anybody on any level, and be right there eye to eye with them. He's a real people person. He does the trips, the driving. He's gonna help you with your driving. And from between him and Faith, moving forward ain't really a big issue, but it's just certain things you have to watch out for, especially when you got the state instructor in the truck with you. It's things you want to keep up with. Then when you get to the range, we had Dale and Matt number 2. Dale was more so, if I could compare him to anything, a drill instructor without really being a drilling. Like, he was a real nice, easygoing guy. But when he saw you messing up and not just getting, he would get upset because he felt like, I'm telling you this is how to do it, and you just gonna continue to do it your way, bro. You're not listening to me. If you ever meet him, you're gonna hear him say that. You're not listening to me. You're trying to cowboy in there. You know. And Matt number 2 was more or less like, well, okay, now you done messed it up. Let me show you how to get out of there and get it right. Especially the parallel. You're not gonna really have too much problem out your straight back and your offset. The parallel take a little bit more skill set. So between the two of those guys on the range, you're gonna pass your skills test. That's not your bagging test. That's not gonna be an issue. So as far as I'm concerned, 160 was full of good people. You know what I mean? It's a smaller range, smaller group, but the only issue that I did have with them was they only had one automatic. You had people coming from Prime, you had people coming through grants, you had people that had paid for it. It was like an equal number of people that was doing manual and automatics, but having that one automatic range, drive time, it's a little bit of confusion there. Everybody bucking to get their time in so that they can get their training. But that wasn't too much of a big deal. It just aggravated me more than anything because I got out of there in 3 weeks, which was the plan. So yeah, 160 Indianapolis, not bad at all. And they're gonna make sure you get the skills you need, you draw to pass the state test. And the state testing facility is right next door. So, it moves at the speed of light. So I just want to do a review of 160. I took my test on the 3rd. Sunday, I'll be going to Tampa, Florida to work for Trans Am. I've seen all the reviews. I've heard all the negative. But for me, Trans Am was a good fit because, one, I do not want to be in a truck with a trainer for 3 to 6 weeks. And they don't have that. And I wanted an opportunity to do the lease operator and not be bogged down into a long contract. I think they got up to the 6 months or longer. So we'll see how that go, man. Follow me on this journey to Moore's Trucker, your brother, man, and friend. Let's see how this thing go, and I'm gonna see if I can give you information that maybe other channels are not giving you. Try not to be redundant, you draw. But I did realize that 160 Indianapolis has no videos. So and I was thinking about doing a video on the pre-trip for 160, but they kind of frown upon that. So you're going to have to get that demonstration on your own. Peace and love, man. Follow your boy.